third and final speaker today. Born in Pennsylvania Dutch country and forced to leave the Amish community, cracking jokes and being caught in bed with a microphone, our next speaker is Al Hare. His speech is entitled A Speech About Nothing. What's the speech about? Nothing. That's the speech. Al Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and especially my evaluator, of course. I always thought he was a handsome, nice guy. I really struggled coming up with a speech topic today. Last week, I entered the first stage of speech denial. I saw on the schedule that I was due to give a speech. A speech, my turn. I really racked my brain for topics. The first thing I did, though, was to look in the manual for help. But I realized that the manual assumes you have a lot of time to come up with a speech. In fact, too much time. And I don't have too much time. Who has too much time anyway these days? Nobody has too much time for anything. Too much time is not going to work for me when it's about coming up with a speech topic. I mean, what are you going to do with all the time that you have to come up with a speech topic? I think the people that wrote the manual had too much time. Last week, the first thing I thought of about doing my speech topic was on sardines. Because that's what I was eating when I started to think about it. How do they get them in that tiny little can? So neat, all in a row. And what do they do with their heads? Do they recycle them? I didn't think that would work. So then I thought I'd talk about going out to eat with my family and friends a week ago at Ocean Grill Restaurant in Cary. Remember that name? Where the waitress was as qualified to be a server waitress as I am to be a brain surgeon. How when she brought the check, there was no check in the folder. And how she started calling us sweetie and honey after only 15 minutes of a relationship. Far too quick for me. And how I finally asked her, what do you really do for a living? To which she responded, I am a mediocre paramedic trainer. To which we all burst out laughing on the table because it would seem that you would require some of the same skills to teach paramedics as you would to be a server. And how we finally left her a $40 tip because we felt sorry for anyone who would be training paramedics to be mediocre in Cary. But I didn't think that would be a good speech topic. It seemed kind of mediocre. I was going for maximum ochre. Not medium, not minor ochre. Not even fried ochre. But back to my speech about nothing. I then thought about, well, I did. I asked my house spouse, the one who lives with me, not the ones that don't. And as you may know, those of you who are Toastmaster members, asking your spouse for help with Toastmasters is a lost cause. They don't care. Those who have fear of public speaking don't really care because they don't even want to think about it. Her suggestion, look in the manual. I then racked my brain last Wednesday. I went, well, no, it's past Wednesday, just this week. No, it was last Friday. Yeah, let's just say Friday. I said it'll be good to get out of the house. Maybe that'll help jog my brain. I went to the area coffee shop. I sat in the corner by myself. There I was, concentrating on my topic. What happened? Everyone thought I was lunatic. Everyone sat beside me, including a women's business networking group. Emphasis on the women part. Where I had to listen to statements like, ooh, that top looks so nice. That is really pretty. This did not help me come up with a topic. I thought of presenting myself to them and saying, have you heard of Toastmasters? I wish you had. This meeting would be going a lot better, and what I'm listening to would seem a lot better. But I didn't. I didn't think I could get a word in edgewise, or even with a screwdriver and some duct tape. It really made me appreciate hiding Toastmasters. Then I sat down at my computer, and I went through all the past topics that I've thought of that I could talk about on my speech topic. One was how you could make your life simpler. and I started to write. Life would be a lot simpler if I wasn't a member of Toastmasters, where you have to come up with things to talk about. And from Toastmasters, I now have an attention span of 5 to 7 minutes. And a fear of flashing lights. I don't even enjoy Christmas anymore. Could care less. I instantly go into this kind of fear when I see flashing lights. And I started thinking about timekeepers. Do they do the job right if they actually listen to the speech? The only way to know is when a light finally goes on and you feel thankful. Because that means you're in there. It's not going to be a mediocre performance. But some other topics present themselves to me. For example, the Even Stevens episode of Seinfeld, where everything evens out. First a good thing happens, then a bad thing happens, and you get a little bit ahead, and then you get a little bit behind. But you always end up in the same spot. But no, that didn't sound good. Then I was going to talk about wearing a heart rate watch when you exercise, and how it improves your performance, and how it would be helpful. But then I realized I don't know anything about science, and I don't really care about the heart. And could I get Cheryl to wear the heart rate watch and jog in place while I gave the speech? Probably not. Probably another mediocre performance. Then finally, yesterday, it dawned on me what my topic should be. I want to talk about procrastination. Putting things off to the last minute. Not knowing what you're going to talk about. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'd like to now start my speech on procrastination. But the lights have come on.